Uncle Ron stuff. I don't know episode, I'll put it when I list it. Today I'm going to talk about one of these. This is a Dlink camera, and I think this is a model. It's on the plate here. This is actually a model DCS 5030L, and it can be Ethernet wired or wireless, and I haven't ever really used any other webcam, so perhaps I'm going to be too critical here, I don't know, but these things, I'm not overly impressed from the hardware point of view, and really not impressed from the software support point of view. These are, maybe the world is changing over to everything is based on a cell phone, and they do seem to work and be able to set them up reasonably well on a cell phone. I have Apples, so you can do that, but setting it up on a PC or via PC, if you want to see the camera images or set them up or do anything, it's nasty. And the reason it's nasty is these don't directly do anything with Google. The apps or the software, wherever it is, Dlink, doesn't play with Google. You have to use Internet Explorer. Okay, well, Internet Explorer got retired a long time ago, and anytime you try to click on the Internet Explorer link, it takes you to Microsoft Edge. These do not play out of the box with Edge. So that requires you as a user to go in and figure out how to configure Edge so it will play Internet Explorer. And then these things, get them to play on Internet Explorer. And I've had difficulty doing that, and I know a good bit about Google and computers and settings. I finally managed to do it on 2 other computers. The one I'm on now, I still can't get it to go. It keeps asking me for plugins, which have already been notified are going to disappear in 2022, end in December, so perhaps that's the reason. And they say, maybe I've held this long enough. No, there's one thing I wanted to show you. Maybe everything is going over to these, and that's how the future of you looking at any images off these cameras are going to be done. Now, even that said, the idea for this, for me, was for home security, and I set up for any kind of motion, or you can set it up for you hear anything, the audio, either one, is motion or it hears sound. It will start triggering video, which can be copied to an SD card, which is, there's a slot here on the back for it. Of course, it doesn't come with an SD card, you have to add one. Now, Dlink in their wisdom has started using a cloud-based subscription service. So if you don't want to use this, buy and put an SD card in it, then you sign up for their subscription service and you pay, oh, the red lights came on. You pay so much a month for that. No, I ain't doing that. I don't want my stuff in the cloud. You should be able to, oh, the lights went out again. You should be able to get it off the SD card. Well, they don't make that easy either. Out of the normal Dlink application, if you get it to run under Internet Explorer on your PC, or you have it eventually up, let's see where it is. You have it eventually up on this thing. Okay, you have it eventually up on this thing. Let's see. I want to do I'm going to click live video. Okay, live video. Supposedly I can bring up live video, and why don't I see live video? What is it saying to me? Live video, please. I want to see live video. It says please don't install Java. Great. I don't want Java. Point being is, if you can, that's the problem with this thing, is just too much user configuration that has to be done. You know, how many people are going to know how to go into Edge and make it Internet Explorer compatible so you can see images off this thing? Again, if you're just going to do this, it shouldn't be such a problem. Anyway, once you get live images, there should be a tab right by it that says recordings or something like that. So you can look back and see, well, what did I capture? The whole point of security is that if something happened, you know, you weren't here, the thing detected motion, it recorded it, so perhaps you could show the videos to the police or whoever, and they would be able to catch the criminals. That's the idea, I think. Now, one of the things that is annoying to me, but I had to turn off, was every time it picks up sound or motion, whatever, however you got it set up for, the doofus thing will send an alert to your cell phone. Now I turned that off because I was home and it was triggering every time somebody moved around. That would be a good idea to have it set up like that if you're not home, but you have to go into the settings and change that every time. There's no quick and easy way to do that. Maybe there is, and I just haven't found it. The point being is there's too many settings and too much user has to do. They should have taken care of it at their end and made it easy as possible, but they didn't. They're still using Internet Explorer as the platform by which you have to play with these things, or you go to that. Okay. I like using PCs. When I go somewhere, I don't necessarily take my phone. I'd like to bring it up on a PC. The other things that bother me about this, there's a lot, is, okay, I got this one wasn't acting right, the one I got in my hand. So I decided I would do a factory reset on it. Now on the back here, there's a little teeny pinhole right there. See that pinhole? It's just below the whatever that card is called that holds video if you have one installed. You can take a paper clip, bend it out straight, push it in that hole, and supposedly that'll reset it to factory settings. And then you have to use, if you can get in under Internet Explorer or whatever, you'll have to use the password and username provided, and it's on here, the password, the original password to get in. Okay, so I proceeded to do the reset, and I couldn't get it to do anything. I could not get back into this. Tried, nothing. So finally, I said, well, I got to take the bottom off and see what's going on. Maybe there's something wrong with the reset. Well, the reset button is actually right there. Only it was put, I don't think I have it here. Anyway, it was put in not mechanically sound. It was sort of soldered in on the back, and then the actual connections on the front. So I don't know. I put the paper clip in there and I pushed, and I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel it engage a button or do anything. So I pushed and pushed. I wound up pushing the whole thing like backwards. it's not mechanically sound. For the average user, again, you know, the touch of putting that in there, it's not a click, it's sort of a soft thing, and you can't feel it, you know. So I wound up breaking it off completely, and that's why I left the back off of this. I can't ever reset this again. I mean, I can if I open it up and short out 2 pins up front, but that's doofus. The other thing is, a pan and tilt is supposed to go around like this, you know, on command. And that does sort of work, but when the camera first starts up, it could be like all the way back here. Sometimes I'll walk in, and all of a sudden it's pointing that direction. I didn't do anything. You know, it's got a mind of its own, so it doesn't really work all that well. I don't think I have much good of anything to say about this, do I? Okay. The images it takes. What if you don't want to record video? You just want to do images. You can set it up to do that. If motion or sound triggers it, it will take pictures. Well, the quality of the picture is so bad, I don't believe the police could figure out anything about who that was. That's why I stopped images and went over to video. Speaking of which, even though I have it set up to do just video recordings at some detection, it's still trying to take an image every time it starts a video recording. I don't know why that is. I've turned off all internal settings, which you have to use one of these to do. Now, I have been successful going directly into it. If you know what the IP address is, okay, there's a couple different ways you can do that, but again, most users are not going to know how to do this. I can go in, or try to go in through Google, type in the address. I have a Dlink router, okay. I can look in the router and I can determine what IP address was assigned to this particular device. Now, I've named them all, and that really helps. Otherwise, it might come up as unknown, or it might come up as DCS 3050 whatever L, and that's just great, except if you have more than one, then which one are you talking about? So I had to go into the D-Link router and name each one so I know which one I'm playing with, okay? I don't know, you shouldn't have to do that, but you do. Okay, so I can go directly into the IP address, and that will get me to the full-blown setup. It looks like a regular D-Link applicational setup. It changes, which I do, and I used to do, and I normally do for my router. It's easy for me to get into my router and change all the settings. There's no flaky app setting in front of it. I go directly into the setups using the IP address, and Google works fine on that, and it displays fine and everything. Not true for one of these. If I try to go in with Google and use the IP address, sometimes yes, sometimes no. Always okay on this cell phone, but not on a PC. I can't recommend these. I really can't. They're not overly expensive, as I recollect. What I liked the idea is it would do pan and tilt, and I could move it around remotely. And I like the fact that I could internet wire it, or it'd be wireless. I like Ethernet wherever I can, so I normally set it up that way. This one, once I reset it, I still haven't been able to get it to connect via Ethernet. I got it up on wireless, but I don't like wireless. Slow speed, it flaky, you know, brains, and doesn't work anymore. I like Ethernet wired directly to my router. So, I don't know if anybody will ever see this. I can't recommend this thing. Now, I don't know what else is better, but they have not done a good job of the user interface for anything. Either to set it up, or to quickly and easily view the live camera images, and certainly not to see any and all saved images or videos that are stored in that SD card. That's what it's called. SD card in the back, if you have one, because it doesn't come with one. Okay. So, I think that's covered just about everything, how I broke the reset button off on this one, because it was soldered in and not mechanically sound. They'd made no effort. I mean, they made little effort, let's put it that way. I don't know. What else can I say? If you intend to use a cell phone, I think you might be okay. You might be able to do that. You probably have to play around to turn off notifications, because every time, like if your wife's home during the day and it's set up to detect motion or sound, it's got to be set up to detect something, or it's not going to do anything for you. You know, you can see live view, I guess, but what do you, live view, that's all you care about? You don't care about it detecting and recording or anything like that? I guess then it would work, but every time it detects something, it's going to send you a notification. You're in a business meeting, you get 25 notifications that's detection was because your dog moved around, okay, you know? I don't know. Am I going to continue to use them? Yeah, because I bought them. I'm dumb. I can sort of use them on some, like, you know, I got it working on 2 of my 3 PCs. I cannot get it to work on this one. And my point was I was going to try to do this camera recording and then switch over and use my mouse and move around in the settings of this device to show you what the difficulty is. But I can't get it to play on this computer, and I got the camera set up on this one, and blah blah blah. They just, the usability, I don't know, the friendliness is not friendly. This is not friendly to use. Even on these things, the setup menu, you know, for the average person, no, they're not going to know that stuff. You know, you got to fumble around and find settings and change them and see what happens and all kind of stuff. It's just no, no, no. Again, I don't know if all cameras are like this or not. It's a good idea. Maybe, you know, maybe in the future. I've seen cameras for sale that you just plug into an outlet. They're automatically Wi-Fi'd. Maybe they've just got real simple stuff. You know, and you got to have apps somewhere or somehow, maybe it's just, I don't know. But not supporting a Google is really crazy. Why in the world won't they have, you know, a supported Google app? Why do you have to use Internet Explorer to do anything on this thing? Not Edge. No, not even Edge. It's got to be Internet Explorer, and which I didn't even know under Edge there is a setup, but you have to find and figure out that will make it Internet Explorer compatible. Maybe I already said that in this, but why should you have to do that? And then you have to go into some settings inside of it to make it compatible, even once you got Internet Explorer running. You know, on your PC or whatever it is, you still have to futz around. I don't know how many of these have gone in the dump, but I can guarantee you, or they went to the Salvation Army or went someplace else. Just too damn hard. Now, I set these up originally and didn't pay attention. Recently, because this started acting up, it keeps spinning around looking at the wrong direction on its own. I don't know why it does that, but okay, I got to fix that. I'm fixing stuff, so I got to fix this. That's when I got into all this tangled up mess again. I had forgotten. It's just a nightmare. It is to set it up, to be able to live view, maybe not so hard. But to see the recordings that it may have saved for you, go ahead and pay her $500,000 a year to have them put in the cloud. Yeah, that's sure. Everybody seems to do that. You pay $8 a month for, you know, Disney Channel stream, so why don't you go ahead and sign up for one of these? They're now offering, now they're trying to, I don't know if it works any better than this does or not. Maybe it's easy that way, and you go ahead and pay them. That's where they're headed. Or I think really in the end, where they're headed is everything will be off your phone. I think the apps in the world, I don't care what it is, it's all migrating to this. And one of my friends, real estate, if you're in real estate and you have a website, it better be compatible with one of these, because that's how most people are looking at real estate. They may be driving around and they see a house for sale and they bring it up on this. They don't have a PC in their car. So I understand the shifting in that direction. But in this case, it was just such a poor implementation from any dimension. Why? You know, I really have a personality disorder. I really like stuff that don't like stuff that's kludged. And this is a giant kludge. You know, why does it spin around on its own? How can you break off a reset button? You know, just so much is wrong with it. It does look nice though, and I really like the moving eyeball. I probably, when I tear it all apart, I'm going to save the moving eyeball. And you say, well, you're screwing out because there's gears in there and stuff. Well, maybe so, but made in China, of course. I don't know. Not recommended. This is a D-Link, whatever model it was, but I suspect what I've been saying is applicable to all the D-Link wireless cameras. Now, I've been using D-Link routers for years. The router I have now I really like, except all of a sudden it won't do quality of service. So you know what the solution is for these things? Do a reset. Do a factory reset. You've set up your router. You've established, you know, the wireless and what the names are and the range of, you know, there's a lot of settings in there. I've already set it all up. And they say, well, if quality service doesn't work, you just do a factory reset and you set everything up again. No, that's not the solution. In fact, why don't you do a factory reset? You go into the doctor, oh, I just give you a reset and you'll be fine, you know? No, that's not how you design stuff as well. You just have to reset it. No. That's going to be put over there, and I'm going to stop with this. I've been trying to muck around with it and try to get so I could show you the camera view and talk about it and then switch over to the screen, which I'm going to try out of just curiosity to see if it will actually work. I'm going to minimize